Yo, what's up there? Wanted to go over something really quick. In one of the videos that I made, we were kind of looking at buy setups and how they work. So you have a move up, and then some type of correction, and then you have another move up. What we're going to do is kind of go into a few things here and look for the opposite, which is a move down. Same type of ordeal here, and then look for another move down. A lot of times, this can become still part of the trend. Well, that's all tweaky. I won't do that. But a lot of times, you can have, I guess we're going to roll with it. Uh, So a lot of times you'll have this is the start of the trend, and then this is just a correction of the trend, and then it continues to go. So when you're correcting, it's usually in 5 or 3 waves, just like when you're trending, it's actually 5 or 3 waves. And eventually, markets will correct, and a lot of times they can become very big and complex. So let's take a look at a few charts. We're going to mainly look at first equities and maybe some forex, and then crypto to see if there's any similarities in when markets change. So we'll go through the indexes real quick. Um, Dow and a lot of the three major U.S. indexes corrected pretty much in the same manner, but just a little bit different. But they all corrected in that three-wave pattern before you start to go up. So let's see if we can find anything that kind of would give us a clue that it might be due for a bigger correction. So you have this trend marking out this wave going up. You can draw a channel right here. So a few other charts that we look at did the same thing, but it broke out of the channel. But the first clue is when it breaks this top, starting to slow down. Might even be divergence somewhere here. Yeah, you got divergence at the very peak of that. It's going to come down, give you a corrective. That was a three-wave flat, and then it started dropping. So there's always a chance that this could become only a 1, 2, 3, and it keeps going. But you've seen in what I post that the first thing you need is a move up, which this could have qualified for, but you want to see a pullback before you have a confirmation that it'll continue to go. But all the three index pretty much did the same thing, just a 1, 2, 3 before they started trending. So eventually, I believe we're going to see another correction like this sometime soon, but I don't think the big one of this is going to be too soon. That would be the fourth wave of Elliott Grand Super Cycle correction. So I think we still got a way to go. S&P 500, pretty much the same thing. This one had the channel, respected the channel a little better, and a lot of times they will. So we broke out of the channel. Divergence here. Broke out of the bottom trend and gave you that same pattern. Is that almost the same pattern as the Dow? Yep, same thing. Now NASDAQ. Very similar with this one. It was just a little more violent when it popped, but you would draw your trend and you would, after every correction, you would adapt it to the current structure. Let's just say you're going to draw it like that. It broke out all the way down here. So if you're keeping the trade open, this was a while back, but let's just say for current times, and we'll go look at crypto. If you're keeping the trade open here and you're holding, through all that, that is a hell of a job. I couldn't do that, so I want to find a way to get out. The first clue is you have this sharp move down. This is a strange three-wave, but it's a three-wave nonetheless, and then it goes down. The daily might give us a better view at that. Yes, it still was strange, but it resulted, and then you have another three-wave, keeps going down. So, if you're holding trades, eventually you're going to want to get out unless you want to have that capital tied up in it, because eventually it will turn around, but it took a while. It took, let's see, it took a lot of days there from 2000 to 2008 roughly before it started its trend. again, but let's take a look at a few things. So you have move up and a channel, breaks the channel, and gives you a three-wave correction and it comes down. So basically everything for the sell setups or get out of the trade setups are the exact opposite of what a buy setup would be. So let's look at the weekly one more time and you'll notice that it is, well, you have a perfect three-wave correction here, but you have a bigger 1, 2, 3 before it starts going again. So same thing, I think we still have a way to go. We might see another small correction, but have a way to go before you get the next big one like this here. GE, we'll take a look at a few more. GE, pretty much the same thing. Move down, you have a perfect three-wave correction, and then you get your next drop. This is very similar to the NASDAQ. You have a move up, it goes into a channel, and then it comes down. Now, I'm expecting GE to come break this low again, and then I would consider taking a long-term position if they can adapt to modern stuff going on. Amazon. So on something like this, and you'll see this, when I see a move up, and you have something that looks like a three-wave pattern starting to form, I'm definitely going to be bullish on it. If this was, if I was able to short like Forex, I'd be looking for sell setups though. But once it gets down to this area, I'll definitely be looking for buy setup. But only when the buy setup comes. So let's draw this trend line. It don't have to be perfect. I mean, the trend line has really little value. It's just a marking of trying to find a spot where the trend might turn because you don't want to see a break and a pullback. But you have this move coming down. Oh, and the divergence here, like massive divergence like that, you're going to want to be very, very wary of taking buy setups on structures on charts like that. So you have this move down, gives you a three wave, and then another 1, 2, 3. This is an expanded flat of a lower degree, and it just keeps going down. So I mean, unless you get a buy setup, it breaks this low because that's usually the minimum it needs to do, and then this comes and breaks out of this trend, of the downtrend, and gives you a pullback, because you'll notice when a buy setup happens like that, it's always going to do that most of the time, and then you would take the trade up. But if that never happens, then I mean, just don't be in the trade, or start out with an offensively small amount of money when you're in the trade, and as it goes in your favor, add. But if it's going against your favor, unless you're very, very long term on the project, uh, continue to add that way. Let's see. And I think that's fine pretty much with stocks. And maybe take a look at some Forex. Let's see. I jumbled all this up the other day. Aussie US dollar chart. So pretty similar. Move down, move up, move down, move up, and channel. So if I'm looking at this, again, I mean, this looks like it would be a buy setup. It gave you a nice move up here, and it goes flat. If you get the setup, take that all day. If it flagged up right here, flag broke out, gave you a flag, take it all day. But as soon as it breaks through that trend and gives you this 1, 2, 3, then it's time to, look to see if you can short the instrument you're looking at. And look, this is pretty similar. I like noticing similarities when I'm looking at charts. We have a move up like that. Usually I look for another move up, but it happened here, same thing, pretty much. And now we're in this channel here, which we've been kind of looking at all the different ways. Maybe we'll see another move up, and then maybe we'll see the move down. I'll just take a look at a few different CAD. I'm trying to see if I can find something really quick. I don't know which one I posted this on. I'm trying to find something. What the hell? Thought it was on the 60-minute. I don't really know why I can't find it. It's not a big deal. So on Forex you can short, which on crypto there's not really many ways to short it yet, but you see it move down and then you have the sideways move. So every time you're starting to get to the top of the structure, you want to start looking for sell setups, which is just a lower move down on a smaller time frame and another setup. And I was trying to find the idea that I posted basically right from here, saying, is this the end? And it turned out to be the end. So you had a move down, you have a 1, 2, 3, and then it starts dropping. And then you'll notice when it drops, it gives you moves down, 1, 2, 3, move down, 1, 2, 3, move down, 1, 2, 3, move down. Now we're getting a bigger 1, 2, 3, most likely. So now this is kind of telling me that you have a move up, move down, maybe get another move up, and look for that next move down. I don't know, maybe pound USD chart we can look at real quick, and then we'll look at some crypto. Alright, so pound, it's in a yearly downtrend and a yearly correction at this move, but you have, this is perfect from the top. Move down, it breaks out of this, you have a 3, let me draw the trend line. Move down, breaks out of this kind of contracting trend line here with the top, and then gives you 1, 2, 3, and it gives you your next move down. And then when you look at it from larger scale, you have a move down, a move up, and then another move down. So you get a move down, sideways, move down. And now this one, I think we're going to drop one more time, but who knows? I might be wrong. And it's okay to be wrong, but when you're wrong, if you're just trading from a technical standpoint, you just want to get out of the trade. Now let's look at some crypto and see if we can see anything similar to what we were just looking at. We're going to start with Bitcoin. Alright, so in my group, me and Rick have been both kind of going back and forth with each other about who's right on this one. And it doesn't matter who's right. What matters is being able to see the possibilities. So from here, we knew we were going to get one more down. And from there, we think it can start going. So the reason I'm more bullish than Rick is because I'm taking this wick. I'm saying that that's the first impulse, which I'm probably wrong, but you have a 1, 2, 3. Maybe around this low, we'll start going up. But if this, it goes into a yearly consolidation, this could only be a 1, a 2, and then it could give you another 3. And let me change the color of this last one. And then you would have basically a 1, 2, 3. Of a bigger degree to go back up, or that this is all the correction right here and it's going to go back up. As of right now, though, it looks like Rick is going to win our gentleman's bet. Just take all this off right now. Especially if you switch it to a line chart. See, with the line chart, it's perfect. You have a move down, you have a sideways. I'd be looking for that next move down, definitely on Bitcoin at this point. Litecoin, all the majors are pretty similar. Litecoin, if we grab the wicks back, I wouldn't be surprised if this keeps kind of correcting like this. We'll get a move up, maybe another move down. But like I said, that's not too important. What's important is knowing, the possibilities and seeing it. So Ethereum, this one is finally dropping. Maybe our altcoin positions will start going back up. But I think Ethereum has quite some time to go up still. I could see it breaking through this, giving you a flag and taking it back to this trend line here. Ripple. Now here's one that I'm probably going to remove the rest of my position, just kind of based on what I'm seeing so far. So on whenever I see a 1, 2, 3, I'm always looking for that next move up, unless it keeps doing this. So Ripple does this, gives you a nice structure like that, then I could definitely see it going down further, and I would remove the rest of my Ripple that I bought. Lumens is all, it's all pretty similar. So you have the daily trend line here. Let's look at a little bit lower time frame. It's breaking, so a lot of these alts too, now that I'm realizing it, are all at pretty much all-time highs. So you have a move down, looks like we're getting a sideways. There's a good chance that we can get another move down. Sidecoin, they're all pretty similar. So ramp up, and now we're getting a move down. What I want to see definitely, and I'll become a lot more bullish on these, is something like maybe come down a little bit lower, but come up here, give me a big flat, and that would be perfect. I would be buying every time it came to the low if it did a fourth and a fifth wave, because I am relatively long term on some of the projects that I look at into crypto. See status, same thing. They all ramped up, and we're getting that deeper pullback now. So what's the chance that this could do like something like that and then come down? That's definitely possible. Verge looked exactly like that, because we'll take a look at Verge. Let's see if Verge starts going off now. That'd be great. It did, because I finally bought into it. So it gave you this correction up, coming back down, coming back down. If it starts to get slow like this, I think that would be definitely a good sign. And it looks like we have divergence as well, which is always good. So I always like looking for divergence with combined with structures to see when we might be going back up. Is there any others that I wanted to look at? Maybe Cardano, pretty much same thing. So Cardano, we had an awesome 10x move up, and then we're starting to get, looks like what is going to be a correction. So hopefully, well, they pretty much always do, but I want to remove some of my Cardano position, but I don't want to remove it right now. I want it to maybe come a little lower and then give me something like this, something like that before I get out. Because if we give something like this and I start to get divergence on a 15 or 60-minute time frame, and I see it starting to change, then I don't want to hold on my Cardano through all that. So I would potentially take some of my profit off, keep some on as well, and then look to buy back lower when that three wave, which most likely will become a three wave corrective pattern happens. Power Ledger, then I'll wrap this up. Power Ledger, very interesting. I actually want to buy more of this because I do really like the idea. Power Ledger, when it first, I guess, hit the exchange, it had a really good run up. And what I'm starting to see, I had this, in the back of my mind the whole time, but I started buying when this three wave completed, and there's a little flag right here, hourly flag correction. I got into it, so I started buying around this low, bought a little here. I probably bought a little here on missing FOMO a little bit. Let me put that back. So Power Ledger is very interesting. I think this is still going to be bullish. So you have basically a move up, and there's a good chance that this could end up being a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we get that, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, 4. Maybe a 5. And then from this point, maybe we'll get something like this. So just recap real quick. And if you guys wanted to look at the technical wave analysis book, I do have a PDF that I can send to you. It's like 200 pages, and it's probably one of the best technical analysis books out there. So you have a move up, and you start to get corrections. And what I wanted to touch on too, as we wrap it up, is a lot of times, well, pretty much all the time, the market is a fractal. So there always be a pattern that builds into another pattern. So that's why you definitely want to look at it across all time frames. I look at start it with the daily, move up, or start pretty much with the weekly, then the daily, which just with crypto, there's not a lot of, I can't see much on weekly charts. So you have move up, sideways, move up, and then the same thing for downside, move down, sideways, and another move down. And basically, with the fractal, what I mean is that, I kind of touched on it, the pattern is going to build into another pattern. So I can show you an example too. So you have a move up, move down, move up, and this could only be one piece of it. So if, you have a move down, and then you're starting to get this bullish uh, structure, because this, move up, move down, move up, that's a bull buy setup pretty much all day. But if you're looking to the left and you have a big move down, and this piece, if this piece, you got a big move down, and then this piece is flat relative to the previous trend you're looking at, then once breaking the top of that correction, always keep in mind that if you get a sharp move down followed by a sideways, as long as you have moved down this way, because typically, bottoms aren't complex like this, you'd have another move down. Because this would complete a bigger 1, 2, 3. And you can have a 4 and a 5. So that's it. Markets trend and correct both in 3 and 5 ways, and they build into each other. It's like one big puzzle. Peace.